Hello, my name is Marco and welcome to Barista and the video review on the new Subminimal Nanofoamer Pro Gen 2. So this is a new update from Subminimal and it looks very similar to the last one, but there's a few little changes that they've done for the better, and we're going to go through some of these new features in this video. Okay, before we get started, I'll probably show you the version 1. And kind of the only difference that you can see with these Nanofoamer Pros is just the thumb wheel that you've got on the new Gen 2. So sometimes this didn't quite sit quite perfectly, and because of the angle it would change how the milk would spin. So they've improved that, and they've also improved the impeller there as well. So yeah, that's probably the only visual change that you can see between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 version. Also, this lid sits much nicer. It has a more snappy feel as the lid sits on the picture there. So the next one, we'll jump straight in, start foaming some milk to see what you think. If you don't already know about the Nanofoamer, basically what it is, it heats up the milk perfectly to roughly 63-65 degrees. For a lovely hot microfoamed milk texture to make lovely flat whites and latte art with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get one of these flow paddles. I'm choosing the one for dairy, and it kind of magnetically clips to the side. I'm going to pour in the milk. Fit on the lid. And then on this, this is like how much aeration you want. I'm going to put it onto number 2 and let it do its thing. This takes roughly 2 minutes. It's a little bit longer on the new version, but it seems to do it slightly slower. And the texture just seems very glossy and creamy. When it gets to OK on the symbol, it still carries on heating up to roughly 65-70 degrees. So it gets the milk really hot, which some people have complained about with the previous version. But you could just take it off when it reaches OK, and it'll be a little bit less on the temperature. So you have that choice now. We have this lovely glossy milk. Great for microfoam. In that time that the milk was foaming, I made an espresso. You can see here with this lovely emulsiony texture, you can do lovely latte art. Okay, so when it comes to just rinsing out the milk pitcher, I have noticed with this version and the brush that's provided, the previous Gen 1, the milk would kind of stick and burn to the base plate, but I believe they've changed the element and the thickness of the base plate, and the milk doesn't stick so much anymore. So a quick rinse of this straight after, and you're not left for minutes later kind of scrubbing like burnt milk. So they have made an improvement with the base of the new Gen 2 Pro. Here's a quick kind of view on how easy it is just to now remove that dried milk at the base. So it takes seconds. You've got these flow paddles, and they are for like dairy and non-dairy. They change the way that the milk kind of spins as a vortex, and these are probably best for like your non-dairy options, and you would find one that works perfect for the milk that you enjoy at home. I also noticed as well that this little thumb wheel also adjusts the height as well, so you can play about with that to get the milk perfect as a texture if it's a non-dairy that you enjoy. But I've just found with normal dairy milk on the number 2 setting, kind of a halfway point between the min and max, it makes perfect flat white texture, and this is really great for us at Barista, pairing it up with something like a Flare 58. The Flair 58, even though it's not produced by Subminimal, it's a fantastic manual espresso maker, ideally for on your travels. One thing you could always say is if you did want to make a milk-based coffee drink for a friend or family member, then it's a little bit awkward in that case. But combining the two, we've got this really kind of portable way of making a fantastic espresso and then also flat whites. Another little tip that I've found, even with the Gen 1, I'm going to fill this up with water and then just put it back on the base and press it on #1 setting, and it will spin that impeller in the water and it rinses it out really quickly, and I find that's much easier than actually scrubbing and cleaning this manually. So what I do at home, I just pop that lid on, press onto setting 1, let it run for a few seconds. It really rinses the impeller. Another thing I've noticed with the Gen 1 and the Gen 2, people would sometimes, as they're washing the jug, they get a lot of water in this kind of contact area here at the base, and sometimes it would stop the jug or the base from working. And I've noticed on the Gen 2, they've made a much better seal on this, so I think this will become much less of a problem as well. So all in all, they've really nailed it with the Gen 2. It produces straight out of the box, lovely flat white, really creamy glossy texture, and the updates they've done I think are really well thought out and, in my opinion, a marvellous product. So we're going to hopefully be receiving these before Christmas, and they should be in stock on the Bella Barista website soon. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, please remember to subscribe to our channel and drop any comments below with any questions that you have. See you next week.